Hi. I have my ginger tea today. So, today has been a day. um, I woke up this morning and my sore throat was even worse, and I decided that I needed to call my doctor about it. Uh, Also, I looked inside my throat and it was um, like white spots on my tonsils. Kitty, don't. Sorry, she's gonna jump up on the table that's holding the camera. Okay. Right, so I had like white spots on my tonsils, which in my experience has always been strep throat. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. This doesn't feel like a cold. It's not going the way a cold usually does. And my throat is getting worse. I bet I have strep. And so I called the doctor's office, and the doctor's office was closed to restricted hours, especially it's the weekend as well. But on the voicemail message, they'd left the personal number for one of the doctors in the office to call if there was an emergency. Which is like, I don't know. That's incredible. That's above and beyond, right? So I figured this is an emergency, right? If this is strep, I need antibiotics. So I called the number, left a message, got a text from my doctor. I kind of have a couple of doctors, so I got a text from one of my doctors, who said, "We'll call you back in a couple hours." He did call me back, talked about my symptoms. I told him what I could see in my throat. I was like, "Do you think that I should go to a walk-in clinic because this is an emergency, so they could do a swab and determine if it actually is strep or not?" And he's like, "No, I don't want you anywhere close to those walk-in clinics. It's not the place you want to be right now." Uh, yeah. So he basically said, "I don't know if you have strep throat or not. It sounds an awful lot like strep," he says. "So I'm just going to treat you anyway." So he wrote me a prescription for an antibiotic and called it into a pharmacy. So I got a prescription. So now I'm taking antibiotics. So I have strep, guys. I mean, it's not 100%, of course, because he couldn't look at me. I didn't get a swab. But I'm pretty darn sure that that's what this is. I've had it before. I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like. I think that this is what it is. And that is terrible because it's painful and bad. But it's not COVID-19. There is a path for me for victory here. There's a path for me to walk down. I can start taking my antibiotics. I took a couple this afternoon. I'll take another couple this evening. So yeah, okay. I think this is positive. I think this is good news. I feel like shit. I'm exhausted. I slept for a lot of the day. But I'm feeling like that's probably normal. I do have a low-grade fever. I kind of thought that it was just anxiety, that I was like sweating at night and stuff, but I was talking to the doctor about it and he's like, "No, that sounds like a low-grade fever." So I'm like, okay, well, I've had a low-grade fever for a few days then, since the beginning of this. So here's hoping that the antibiotics will kick in a couple of days and I'll start to feel better. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a hell of a day. But I just want to take this episode of whatever this is that I'm doing to do a huge shout out to the healthcare workers. I mean, my doctor was exhausted when I called him. Like, you could tell. It was like 11 in the morning when I spoke to him, and he was exhausted. And yet he still took the time to allow me to call them at home. And I mean, the pharmacy was open and operating, and I did have to go in there. But like they made sure that, like I made sure that there was no one else in there when I went in, and everybody maintained super far distance away from everyone, contactless paying, no cash. And the pharmacist still managed to like smile at me, which was amazing. So yeah, I spoke to my doctor, and he said that yes, even though this is probably not COVID-19, of course I do have to continue the self-isolation, because there is a tiny percentile chance that the strep diagnosis is not correct, and also because now I'm immunocompromised, right? So I could easily pick up the virus from somebody else. So we're gonna keep doing this self-isolation thing. Yeah. That's pretty much that was pretty much my day. I feel terrible, and yet I feel good, like, because it's always the uncertainty that kills you about everything, I feel like. And this has been no different. And I think everybody's feeling that too, just the uncertainty of, even if you're an asymptomatic carrier, I mean, who knows? Or if you just don't know how long this shutdown stuff is going to last. You don't know how long you're not going to be able to work. You don't know how long you're not going to be able to go to school for kids. So as soon as you take away some of the uncertainty, it immediately feels a little bit better. So I'm feeling a little bit better about that. I'm recording this a little bit early this evening, because I'm going to do Netflix party with a few friends tonight, which is like a remote thing. I don't know how it works, but you all like watch the same movie at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that I can power through it. But like I say, I have slept for a lot of the day, and I'm continuing to take all of the stuff that my doctor told me to take, and drinking my tea. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this being the path towards feeling better, and then just doing self-isolation as a crazy person who feels lonely and isolated, rather than a crazy person who feels lonely and isolated and is also feeling really, really sick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I should cross off my number. Oh my God, you guys, day 4. That's halfway through the first week. Whew. Millie has been the absolute best nursemaid, by the way. She's really good at pretending to be a violent jerk, but she also naps with me like whenever I want, which is the best. Okay. Stay safe, everybody. I will see you tomorrow.